Welcome to Mr. Yang's classroom. This lesson is about circles. I will be going over circumference and arc length, as well as area and sector area. There will be 3 example questions. On this page, we have several formulas that will help us to calculate the circumference of a circle, as well as the arc length of a circle, as well as the area of a circle, as well as a sector area. It would be good to note that the circumference of a circle, or c, is equal to 2 pi r, or 2 times pi times the radius, and that the area of the circle, a, is equal to pi r squared, or pi times the radius squared. The arc length of a circle is measured by theta over 360 times 2 pi r. Notice how 2 pi r is the circumference of the circle. And the area of the sector is theta over 360 times pi r squared, which is the area of a circle. So in this first example, we have Alex who buys a pizza with a diameter of 20 inches. And she eats a slice with a central angle of 45 degrees. So we'll be able to find the length of the entire pizza crust, which will be the circumference of the circle. And then we'll be able to find the area of the entire pizza, which will be the area of the circle. Then we'll be able to find the length of the crust that she ate from her slice, which will be the arc length of the circle. And then we'll be able to find the area of the slice that she ate, which will be the sector area of the circle. So let's take a look at the equation of the circumference of the circle to plug it in. Circumference is equal to 2 times pi times the radius. And in this circumstance, the diameter is 20 inches and the radius is going to be half the diameter. So what would the radius be? You guessed it, it's 10 inches. So let's plug in 10 inches into our equation, 2 pi r. So our circumference will equal 2 times 10 is 20. Let's bring the pi down. So our answer is going to be 20 pi inches. That is the distance of the circumference of the circle. Now let's find the area of the entire pizza. The area of the circle is actually equal to pi r squared. So the area is equal to pi times, let's find our radius again. Oh, it's also 10 inches. So pi times the radius squared, which is 10 inches squared. So our area is going to be 10 inches squared would be 10 times 10 is 100. So will be 100, bring down the pi, inches squared. Now notice how the inches is in inches squared. That's because it's a 2-dimensional measure of an area. Now let's go ahead and find our arc length. So our arc length is equal to theta, which is the measure of the angle degree of our arc, and over 360. So it's going to be 45 degrees over 360 degrees, which is the measure of the total number of degrees in a circle, times 2 pi r. Now 2 pi r is what we calculated right here. So we can just bring this down right here and plug in 20 pi inches. Okay, so our arc length, now if you reduce 45 out of 360, you'll realize that it's actually 1 over 8. So you know that this pi is actually cut up into one of 8 slices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to be 1 over 8 times 20 pi inches. Just bringing that down. So our answer is going to be 20 pi over 8 inches. That's going to be the length of our pi. We could also reduce this to 10 pi over 4, which also reduces to 5 pi over 2 inches. Let's find the area of the slice that she ate. So the area of the sector is going to be theta over 360 again, which is 45 degrees over 360 times pi r squared. Now, pi r squared is the area of the circle, so we can bring this down and plug in 100 pi inches squared. And again, we know that 45 out of 360 is going to be 1 out of 8. So sector is equal to 1 over 8 times 100 pi inches squared. We can simplify further to make it 100 pi over 8 inches squared, which reduces to 50 pi over 4 inches squared, which reduces to 25 pi over 2 inches squared. Now on to our second example. DJ buys a pizza with a diameter of 18 inches, and he eats a slice with a central angle of 120 degrees. So let's again find the circumference, the arc length, the area, and the sector area. So circumference is equal to 2 pi r, so C is equal to 2 times pi times the radius is going to be half the diameter, which is 9 inches. So we'll plug in 9 inches right here. So our circumference is equal to 2 times 9 is 18. Bring down the pi, inches. Okay. Now the area of our entire pizza is going to be pi r squared. So pi times the radius, which is 9 inches, squared. So our area is equal to, what is 9 inches squared? 9 times 9 is 81. So it's 81, bring down the pi, inches squared. That's going to be the area of our pizza. Now let's find this arc length, the length of the crust that he ate from his slice. So arc length is equal to theta over 360, which is 120 over 360 times 2 pi r, which we can bring down right here, which is 18 pi inches. Now, we know that we can reduce 120 out of 360 into 1 over 3. So we know that this pie, this pizza, is divided into 3 pieces times 18 pi inches. Now, 18 over 3 is going to equal 6. So your answer is going to be 6 pi inches. So the length of this arc is 6 pi inches. Now the area of the slice that he ate is going to be, again, this will be sector is equal to theta over 360, which again we know as 1 over 3, times pi r squared. Pi r squared is 81 pi inches. So we can plug that in here, 81 pi inches squared. Now we know that the sector can equal 81 pi over 3 inches squared. Now, I believe 3 goes into 81. 2, 6, 27 times. So that's going to equal 27 pi inches squared. And that's the area of the slice that he ate. And for our last example, we have Emma who buys a pizza with a radius of 7 inches. Notice how they didn't give us the diameter this time, they gave us the radius. And she eats a slice with a central angle of 90 degrees. So again, let's find the circumference. Circumference is equal to 2 times pi times the radius, which is already given for us, 7 inches. So our circumference is equal to 2 times 7 is 14 pi inches. Let's find the area of our pizza. The area is equal to pi r squared. So it would be pi times 7 inches squared. So 7 inches squared is going to be 7 squared is 49. Bring down the pi, inches squared. Now that is the area of the entire pizza. And again, this was the circumference of our pizza. Now let's find the arc length of our pizza and the area of the slice. So our arc length is equal to theta over 360, which is 90 degrees over 360 degrees, times 2 pi r, which is 14 pi inches. So we know that 90 over 360 is actually 1 out of 4 pieces. So it'll be 1 over 4 times 14 pi inches. This reduces to 14 pi divided by 4 inches, which reduces to 7 pi over 2 inches. And that's going to be the length of this arc. Finally, to find the area of the slice, which is going to be the sector, we'll find theta over 360, which is actually going to be 1 over 4, times pi r squared. And pi r squared is actually 49 pi inches squared. So let's plug that in, 49 pi inches squared. Now we can find that the sector area of this circle is going to be 49 pi over 4 inches squared. And I don't believe that can be reduced. So that is going to be the area of the slice that she ate. Thanks for watching, guys.